Hey folks, thanks for tuning in. It's been quite some time since I'd done a video. I'd just been busy with other stuff, and in the New England area we've gotten quite a bit of snow this last part of the season, so I've been out there snow blowing, doing that whole responsible thing. Bah, ready for summer. Anyway, I just wanted to share with you this revolver that I had picked up a while back. Rather unique piece of history. Of course, I don't know actually where it came from or what it was used for, other than self-defense, of course. Let's hope anyway. It wasn't used for any other reasons. But this is actually a very old revolver. And this is, many of you have seen my videos about the top brakes. And this one actually is a bottom brake. So if you push the lever on the bottom, the two notches, you just push up on them and it releases it and it hinges from the top. Pretty neat design. This is the first time I ran across them. I have seen them before through video or books or whatever from doing research. As many of you know, I do work a firearms retail store, so I see some things come in every great once in a while, but nothing like this. Square butt design. It is single action only, and when you lift the cylinder, the barrel, the cylinder actually just pulls straight out. It's a 5-shot, and this is chambered in 32 short. And this is actually a Rimfire. 32 Rimfire, which is a fairly rare or uncommon cartridge. How you know it's a Rimfire is if you look at the hammer. It's got a flat face hammer on it, and when, I don't know if you can get this on camera, but when it shuts, you'll see, let's see, I guess you can barely make it out in the top right corner inside of the frame. You'll see the corner or the edge of that hammer striking, so it's striking the edge of the cartridge. I'm sorry if my voice got really loud when I was close to the camera. But anyway, so that's a Rimfire cartridge, so it's 32 short. Pretty neat little piece. I will admit, when I first obtained this, I couldn't get it to open. It was rusted shut. I had done a lot of work to this just to get it to function okay. I couldn't get it open at all. I put all kinds of recommended solutions and solvents to dissolve the rust, and the whole thing was basically rust. And I tried to recondition it, as much as I could. I didn't want to take any of the existing bluing, not that there's a whole lot left, but I didn't want to take it all off. I wanted to try and give it that antique-ish look to it. I could polish this all up if I wanted to, but that's not really what it was designed to be. So anyway, it's a 3.5-inch barrel, octagonal. The patent for this is April 3rd of 1855 to July 5th to 1859. And I believe there was around 25,000, just over 25,000 of them made. And the manufacture date of this is between 1865 and 1869. How's that for an old one, huh? I am getting all of this information from a very reputable source. I have a variety of gun books that I can research on firearms and so on. But the frame in this is, this basically has a square butt. It's obviously made out of steel. It's got this irregular side plate as well. And when I took this apart, I was a little hesitant to take it apart because I couldn't find, through research, a schematic on how it went together and was taken apart. So I was a little nervous. I'm in no way a gunsmith, but I do like to tinker and I do play around with them, and I take my time, and if I feel uncomfortable, I'll stop at a certain point. But with that being said, I did take the side plate off, and I was able to get that open, of course. And then, there's a screw under here to take the rod out. This is used to extract the old cartridges, I believe. But anyway, I got the side plate off. I cleaned all the inside. Believe me, it was dirty. So it took me, I don't even know how long it took me to get into it, but it probably took me roughly 4 or 5 hours of not constant, continuous working on it, but I'd work on it for a half hour, 45 minutes, put it down, then work on it for another hour, put it down. The one thing that I did notice when I took the grips off is whoever had owned it previously, there's well, heck with it. I mean, we're right here. If you guys don't get too bored, I understand if you leave the channel. But anyway, I'm actually going to take the grips off right now. Oops, right now and show you. I know, how's that for delicate and careful? So we'll take that off. We'll punch the other side out. So as you can see, I'm sorry, I don't have a good setup here. As you can see, this steel plate, that's actually what charges the hammer. So when you pull the hammer, or not charges, but holds tension for the hammer, it's just a bar that flexes. So when you pull the hammer back, it bends the bar down. It's putting pressure on it. So when you pull the trigger, it releases, the sear releases the hammer and allows it to throw forward. And again, actually, I had a flashlight in here somewhere. I don't know where it went, but oh, actually, here it is. So I don't think you'll be able to see it. Yeah, well, you'll have to take my word for it. It's in there. It's actually like two teeth that are pronged like this, and they actually fit against the hammer that rides inside, but the hammer actually locks into those teeth. It's hard to explain without showing it to you. There's no way I'm going to take it off, because this was a bitch to get on. The reason why I brought this piece up is because when I first bought this, there was actually, it looked like an aluminum piece that was really rough cut. I think it had broken or something had happened to the original one, so whoever owned it previously actually made one and put it in, and it actually worked okay, but when you pulled the hammer back, it wasn't a nice, smooth, audible click. As you pulled the hammer back, you could hear the grinding of the metal inside. So it was more of an annoyance, and I didn't know how much damage it was doing inside by constant grinding. So I actually ordered this online through Numrich.com, I believe it was. It might have actually been eBay. I don't know. I don't remember. But anyway, so this was actually made for a 38 Special, an old Civil War 38 Special. So I actually did cut it down just a hair because it was longer, which would have added more tension. It would have been harder to fit in. So I just cut a hair off of it, and it works flawless. I mean, it's got some pretty good punch to it. I don't really want to, I'll dry fire it once. So, I mean, that's got a really, twice. So that's got a really good spring tension to it, so I know that would work fine. So again, when I took the old, I keep forgetting what it is. It's like a hammer spring almost. When I took the old hammer spring out and had to put this one in, holy cow, guys, I'm telling you, it was extremely tough. Like, I had leather down to protect the revolver and the vise, and the vise is holding the gun, and the revolver, and I'm trying to tweak it in with pliers and this and that, and it was just a big pain. But I did get it. As far as the cylinder goes, oh, one thing too, when I had this plate off and I cleaned the insides, there was one thing that I was so upset about through the course of cleaning everything, and I was relubing it and so on and so forth. There's one little tiny, I guess you could call it a bar. It's only about 3/8 of an inch long, and it's about as skinny as the screw that I took out. It's a flat plate that sits onto a section of the hammer. So when you cock the hammer, it helps rotate the barrel, the cylinder. I broke it. Anyway, yes, I did break it. So before I broke it and it was working okay, it locked up quite well, and I felt 100% fine with trying to shoot it. Now, not so much. When I cocked the hammer, if you watch the cylinder, the hammer's all the way back. And if you look at the cylinder, it didn't quite go all the way. And I know this isn't safe pointing at the camera. Just kidding. How am I going to shoot you guys? I'm not in front of the camera, by the way. So just turn it, and then it does lock in, and it's got a positive lock. So now, you know, I have to really push it to move it, but you can hear it. It's locked in there. So if I pull the trigger, it's definitely hitting in the slot in the cylinder that would have the bullet chambered. So I do feel comfortable shooting this, as long as when I pull the hammer back, I manually move it to the spot so that it's lined up. The barrel has a little bit of movement to it, and looking up here on the top, it looks like whoever owned it previously might have done a little self gunsmithing to it, kind of grinded it out. But neat little revolver. This thing's awesome. It works. You know, I haven't shot it yet. I did look up ammunition on this gun shortly after I got it, because there's no way I had 32 short, and like one bullet on Gunbroker was selling for an unbelievable amount, like $12 or $15 or something like that. So apparently the rarity is extreme. So me being as lucky as I am, actually, you know, by working at the gun shop, I had a customer come in, and they actually showed me a bullet and said, "Hey, do you know what this is?" And I said, "I'll be a son of a gun. That looks like a 32 rimfire to me." And I explained to him the story about how I came across this revolver, and he says, "Well, if you want it, you can have it. I think I have a few more at home too, if you want those." I said, "Well, geez, you know," he's like, "I'm not using them," so he had no problem giving them to me. And so lo and behold, the week following, he came in with this. I couldn't believe it. This is, in fact, 32 short rimfire. They were very corroded when I got them. I actually cleaned them up a little bit. Let me bring it up to the camera. I got to keep standing up and sitting down here. So as you can see, there's a little bit of corrosion still in the lead, but I did clean them up. I mean, these things were pretty corroded, and I just, you know, wiped them down with a decent solvent and solution or whatever. I didn't drench them or anything, but I just, you know, kept wiping them, taking my time. So that is... Don't mind my thumb, boo-boo. Like I said, it's been dry up here. So that's it. That's a 32 rimfire. And for the sake of the video, all you guys that are like, never have ammo near your guns, give me a break. I mean, we're gun people. We know, you know, for the most part, we know safety. I'm not going to put the cylinder in the gun, but I will take the bullet and I will insert it in the cylinder itself to show that it sits right in there, nice and flush. So, you know, obviously, it's a 5-shot. Take another one, fits right in there. So pretty cool. It's neat how they don't. Oh, there's a little cat hair or something. Anyway, pretty neat little gun, and I don't know. I may try and fire it someday, but for one, that's an expensive gun to shoot. But, you know, just to say I shot a gun that was made in 1865 to 1869 is a pretty cool story to share. And if I do shoot it, I will most definitely record it. And I'll probably post it to the video. But it is winter now, so I don't go out and shoot as much. As you can see, everyone, I put both bullets back. It is empty. So, with that being said, I'm sorry if the video ran a little long, but I just wanted to show this to you, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Oh, and by the way, I didn't go into too much more detail. I stopped at the being a square butt, but The barrel, of course, is an octagonal barrel with a rib top, meaning it's cut out. Oh yeah, I told you it's a 3.5-inch barrel on there. Straight lever up inserted, pivoted in the frame, which is this here. So, and the grips are actually rosewood. They're very old, and these are the original grips on. Whoa, as I almost drop it. These are the original grips that came with it. Nobody replaced them, and it has the serial number, I believe, of the firearm on there, which it is. So that's how I know these are the original grips. So how much is this gun worth, if you might ask? I have no idea. I mean, at this point, to me, it's a conversation piece. I am in no way a collector of firearms. I must admit, I don't really know the history of firearms all that much, because I shoot, most of what I shoot is modern stuff. But you know, I do enjoy, and I have a high respect for the older stuff as well. I just never got into the whole collector's thing, and I can't really afford it anyway. So anyway, I just thought I'd give you that little video, and I hope everybody enjoyed. If any of you know anything else about this, please don't hesitate to comment. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask. I don't know if I'll have the answer, but you know, I'll do the best I can. And you know, there might be some things that people have questions about that I didn't really think of. So I'd love to look up more info on this firearm if something piques my interest, definitely. So thank you all for watching. As always, please be safe.